Hello, friends. A very happy new year to you all. We shall dwell on the concepts of Rajniti and politics today. The term Rajniti is frequently used in India to translate the word politics. But considering their origins, subtle yet important differences emerge. Since the topic is complex, it is necessary to present it in two parts. This video, which is the first part of the two-part series, explains the origins and core concepts of politics and Rajniti. The next video, which will come in a few days, will offer a detailed comparison of the two concepts. Politics is the process by which a society makes changes and enforces the laws and guidelines that affect everyone. It is about using power and authority, often within government systems, to organize and run society. The term's origin lies in the Greek word politica, which translates to affairs of the cities. This reflects its ancient connection to city states. Politics essentially organizes and manages society through decisions and power. The key elements of a political system are power and authority, governance, participation, and conflict resolution. Power and authority are fundamental in politics. They dictate decision making and enforcement. Power can be coercive, persuasive, or normative. It is formalized within institutions such as governments or organizations. In contrast, authority represents the legal application of power. It stems from legislation, established norms, or electoral processes. Democratic leaders, for instance, gain power from the people's approval, a point highlighted by John Locke. Governance encompasses the systems, procedures, and structures that execute decisions and uphold social stability. Good governance involves the efficient implementation of policies and laws. This helps in resolving competing interests for just and equitable results. To prevent concentration of power and ensure accountability, modern governance often employs Montesquieu's principle of the separation of powers. Political processes involve the participation of individuals, groups, or representatives. You can say and representatives too. In democracies, citizen engagement is key to influencing government. This can happen through voting, activism, or public discourse. The principle of participation, vital to both formal politics and civil society, reflects a vibrant political landscape. For example, the civil rights movement in the United States shows how grassroots action can transform societal norms and policies. The existence of competing interests, values, and goals within societies makes conflict and consensus integral to the political process. Politics offers a framework for resolving conflict via dialogue, negotiation, and compromise. Transforming disagreement into consensus is vital for political stability. For example, the Indian Constitution demonstrates how varied perspectives can unite behind a common goal for government. These elements are fundamental to political systems. They influence how societies manage power, overcome shared problems, and pursue collective goals. Balanced and inclusive politics enables societal evolution that truly reflects the varied needs and goals of its people. Western political development is a historical journey molded by philosophy, governance, and societal change. The evolution of Western political thought spans from ancient Greece's democratic beginnings to modern ideological changes. It continuously grapples with the complexities of governing and human interaction. Democracy's origins, often cited as the foundation of Western politics, are found in the 5th century before Christian era Athens. In Athens, free male citizens participated in a direct democracy through assemblies and councils. Let us not forget that there used to be slaves also, both males and females. This model was not fully inclusive, but it was a pioneering effort at collective governance because only free males used to participate. The influence of Greek political philosophy on Western thought was substantial. Justice and social harmony, governed by philosopher kings, are central to Plato's vision of an ideal state as indicated in the Republic, which is his very important work. In his work, Politics, Aristotle adopted a more empirical approach. He classified governments as monarchy, aristocracy, and polity by their virtuous and corrupt forms. Aristotle's assertion that humans are inherently political animals highlights our innate need for social structures. This concept is still relevant in modern political discussions. Between 509 and 527 BCE, the Roman Republic built upon Greek models. It entrusted power to elected officials. Institutions like the Senate and the election of magistrates offered a structure for shared governance. But power was held by the elite. The Roman political innovation was fundamentally based on the rule of law as shown in the 12 tables legal codification between 451 and 450 BCE. This legal framework highlighted equality under the law and foreshadowed modern legal systems. Cicero, a leading Roman figure, argued that law and morality are connected. Following the Roman Empire's decline, Europe entered the Middle Ages. The governance was fragmented and the Catholic Church held widespread authority. Decentralized power and hierarchical relationships between lords and vassals defined the dominant feudal system. Religion heavily influenced political thought. Saint Augustine, a leading intellectual figure of his era, merged Christian theology and political philosophy in the city of God. In his view, human governments were subservient to God's overarching design, mirroring his will imperfectly. This strengthened the church's political authority and provided a moral framework for governance that endured throughout the medieval era. The Renaissance, spanning the 14th to 17th centuries, saw a resurgence of classical thought. This sparked major changes in political ideas. Idealistic governance was rejected by thinkers such as Niccolo Machiavelli, a pioneer of modern political science. Machiavelli's The Prince advocates a pragmatic, even ruthless leadership style where the ends justify the means to secure and maintain power. His work deeply influenced realist political approaches. The early modern period saw social contract theories alter the state citizen dynamic. In Leviathan, Thomas Hobbes portrays humanity's natural state as nasty, brutish, and short. This justified a powerful centralized government to impose order. Contrary to prevailing views, John Locke championed natural rights like life, liberty, and property. He asserted that a government's legitimacy rests on the consent of the governed. Expanding on these concepts, Rousseau argued in the social contract for popular sovereignty and a government dedicated to the common good. Western politics in the modern era changed dramatically because of a combination of Enlightenment ideals, revolutions, and industrialization. The American Revolution of 1776 and the French Revolution of 1789 represented the fight for liberty, equality, and democratic rule. The US Constitution established a system of representative democracy and checks and balances. The French Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen championed universal human rights. Enlightenment figures such as Voltaire, Montesquieu, and Immanuel Kant promoted reason, individual liberty, and the division of governmental powers. This established the intellectual base of liberal democracy. Marxist inspired ideologies such as socialism and communism arose to counter the economic disparities caused by industrialization. Western political systems in the 20th century ranged from liberal democracies to authoritarian regimes. These face the combined challenges of globalization, technological advancements, and diverse cultures. Debates about governance, justice, and balancing individual rights with collective responsibilities are still shaped by this rich history. Rajniti is India's political tradition. Unlike Western ideas of power and governance, it provides a unique and complex viewpoint. For millennia, its evolution has blended spiritual principles, ethical considerations, and pragmatic strategies. Rajniti was grounded in dharma or moral order. It was shaped by India's rich cultural and historical landscape and demonstrated a lasting dedication to societal well being and ethical governance. Rajniti originated in ancient India when governance was inseparable from spiritual and moral principles. While Western traditions centered on power, ancient Indian politics highlighted the ruler's obligation to uphold dharma or righteousness. Rulers used the concept of dharma to promote societal harmony, justice, and the well being of their people. The ancient legal text Manusmriti outlined a king's ethical responsibilities. His legitimacy rested on his ability to protect and serve his subjects. Kautilya or Chanakya's Arthashastra is a foundational text in Indian political thought. It dates back to the 3rd century BCE. Although based on dharmic principles, it adopts a pragmatic approach to governance. It outlines strategies for administration, diplomacy, economics, and warfare. Kautilya's famous words, "A king's happiness depends on his subjects' happiness," highlight Rajniti's focus on the people's well being. Like Machiavelli's The Prince, his work explores power politics but also incorporates ethics into governance. India's epics, the Mahabharata and Ramayana, offer profound insights into leadership and governance. The Bhagavad Gita's Krishna Arjuna dialogue within the Mahabharata explores leadership's ethical dilemmas, emphasizing the balance between morality and duty. The Ramayana depicts Lord Rama, the ideal ruler, embodying justice, loyalty, and self sacrifice. These stories acted as ethical guides for ancient leaders and still influence Indian political thought. During the medieval era, Rajniti developed through a complex interaction of local customs and outside forces. Regional differences, powerful dynasties, and adoption of new cultural and political ideas defined governance. Rajput kingdoms were defined by a warrior culture. Their politics revolved around courage, honor, and strategic partnerships. In contrast, the Mughal Empire combined Persian politics and Indian administration, resulting in a very efficient government. Akbar the Great's legacy is largely defined by his Sulekul policy, which fostered religious harmony and acceptance. His attempts to create a unified society from diverse communities mirrored the dharmic principle of societal peace. Despite their spiritual nature, the Bhakti and Sufi traditions influenced political thought. They focused on equality, social cohesion, and moral conduct. Rajniti's ideals found common ground with the critiques of societal hierarchies and promotion of a just and inclusive society championed by saints like Kabir and Guru Nanak. The colonial period brought about a major transformation in how Indian politics was understood and operated. British rule disrupted traditional governance and established Western political systems and ideas. This nurtured the growth of modern Indian politics. British rule brought concepts like the rule of law, representative government, and the modern nation state. While these changes broke traditional Indian governance, they also spurred Indian political awareness. Exposure to English education brought Indian thinkers into contact with Enlightenment ideals, resulting in a blend of Western and Indian political thought. The fight for independence marked a pivotal moment in Rajniti's development. Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru integrated ancient Indian ideals into modern political thought. Gandhi's idea of Swaraj stemmed from the dharmic ideals of self governance and moral duty. He championed non-violence and grassroots democracy, picturing a political system focused on aiding the most vulnerable. Drawing on socialist and liberal democratic ideals, Nehru pictured a modern, secular India that valued its diverse heritage. After independence, India's parliamentary democracy incorporated elements of its colonial past and native traditions. India's constitution uniquely blends principles of equality, justice, and individual rights with provisions acknowledging India's diverse cultures and religions. For example, the directive principles of state policy reflect the ancient dharmic focus on societal well being and justice. India's political landscape is constantly changing as it confronts identity politics, corruption, and socio-economic inequality. However, its strength comes from including different viewpoints, adapting to new ideas and situations, and using its history while being modern. In both concept and practice, Rajniti is a unique blend of ethical governance and pragmatic statecraft. Rajniti's enduring legacy spans from ancient dharma guided kings to today's democracies, showcasing its dynamic evolution between tradition and progress. Its lasting significance stems from its comprehensive political perspective, highlighting the interwoven nature of power, ethics, and societal prosperity. In Amartya Sen's words, India's tradition of public discourse and tolerance has greatly influenced its political thought, providing valuable lessons globally. I will compare the concepts of politics and Rajniti in my next video. Bye till then.